Thank you for visiting my online gallery. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about this painting that you're looking at right now. It's titled Filter Gallery, and it's part of a series that I completed in July of this year. Some themes that I was working with in that series, first of all, was a color choice that I thought was interesting to explore, and you can kind of see that here. We have these deep gold colors, yellows, and these very deep blues, and I like to use a variety of blues. So we have indigo and cobalt and some cerulean, some phthalo blue. I really just enjoy using those different shades and kind of how they interact. I find them very interesting because they have subtle differences that I think add a lot of depth to a piece. And as you can also see, I was experimenting with some different textures, and I found a lot of organic textures starting to take form in this series, which gave it very much a sort of biological or even microscopic feel sometimes. Some of these forms remind me of algae or different organic, maybe even cellular structures. And then I've also included in pretty much every piece some kind of geometric or possibly even digitally derived element. I'm always interested in the relationship between technologies and the natural world and the human experience and our psyche and how we interact with these different elements of our reality. And as an abstract painter, I'm also interested in exploring subject matter and imagery that is very much of our time. I think it's very easy when you're working abstractly to make something that looks like it could be 100 years old, which is fine. There's still a lot to explore there. I'm just in particular interested in finding, what are things we have in common now that we can look at and recognize and say, oh yeah, that's an experience that we experience now that we didn't have 20, 30 years ago. The title Filter Gallery is a reference to a Photoshop tool. If you've never used that, you probably won't be familiar to you, but essentially it's a tool that allows you to instantly manipulate an image in many, many different ways. And one thing that is very unique to our time about that is that it gives you so many options that it's almost too much of a good thing. It can feel a little overwhelming sometimes. And I think part of how we navigate life today is we have to start to be selective about what we do, what information we consume, and we just have so many more options than we did in the past, and that's something that again it's unique to our current time, and I just find that an interesting thing to think about and connect with my artwork. So if you have more questions about the piece, I'm more than happy to answer those. If you'd like more photographs or details, I can always give you those. If you'd like to see the back, you can see it's ready to hang. It's signed here. This is a Dioban panel, and it's about 4 millimeters thick. And it's an excellent material. If you have questions about that, you can also ask, of course. If you are interested in having it framed, that's also a possibility. It wouldn't be difficult, and you could also let me know if you're interested in that. All right, thanks so much for visiting.